Iris had a brain bleed and was unresponsive when she was taken to the hospital last Sunday, June 25th. They say she was on a court-ordered visitation at the time. According to the Allegheny County Medical Examiner's report, she died Thursday at UPMC Children's Hospital.
Welcome back. I'm Cassie and this is A Wicked World. If you haven't checked out A Wicked World on Patreon yet, then you should after this video. There's over 30 exclusive videos there that you'll only find on Patreon, and new ones are being added each month. So the story I have for you today is about a baby girl who was killed by a petty and selfish person in what must have been an incredibly painful way. This is the story of Iris Alfera. Iris Rita Alfera was born on December 2nd, 2021 in Butler, Pennsylvania, to her mother Emily Alfera and her father Bailey Jacoby. Iris was said to be very happy and a bright baby. She loved watching the show Miss Rachel, and she learned a lot of sign language from watching it. Iris also loved snuggling with her pet cats and dogs, as well as watching the show Bluey and the movie Moana. Baby Iris and her mother were very close. Emily just adored her little girl, and the pair were often seen wearing matching outfits. Iris also lived with her mother Emily most of the time, along with Emily's parents too. Their names were Candace and Frank Alfera, or Gaga and Papa to Iris. Now, Bailey still had visitations with his daughter, and he would get to see her every Wednesday as well as every other weekend. She would go stay at his home during these times. This had started when Iris was only 13 months old. Back when Emily had met and started dating Iris's father towards the end of 2020, they had lived together in a house that was located on the 400 block of Electric Street in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Emily had moved out after her and Bailey split in early 2022, and when they did, Bailey would move in his new girlfriend, Alicia Owens, just a few months later. In the spring of 2023, after Iris returned from a visit at her father's home, she had to be brought to the UPMC Children's Hospital by her mother, Emily. This had come after Emily discovered that her daughter's poop contained 20 water beads, some of which had grown to the size of quarters, button-like batteries, and a screw. Following this incident, police told Iris's mother Emily that they believed this had been done to her daughter on purpose. So Emily immediately contacted Children and Youth Services and let them know of her and authorities' concerns. But the regular visits between Bailey and his daughter would not end up being limited. Emily was even told that if she did not continue to let her daughter go on visits with Bailey, then she would likely be held in contempt of court and could potentially lose custody of her daughter. Then, on June 25th, 2023, Iris was again spending the weekend at her father Bailey's home, when Bailey had to go out to the store quickly, and he left his daughter in the care of his girlfriend, Alicia Owens. But while he was out, Alicia called the father and told him that something was wrong with his daughter. Bailey immediately rushed back home to his Newcastle, Delaware home, where he found Iris unresponsive, and he contacted 911. After contacting emergency services, Bailey also contacted Iris's mother, Emily, who would arrive at his home around the time that the first responders did. And upon her arrival, Emily saw Alicia standing at the back of the ambulance, crying. The mother was then told by Bailey that their daughter Iris had been vomiting before she suddenly had fallen unresponsive. Iris would be rushed to UPMC Jameson Hospital in Newcastle for treatment. But roughly an hour later, she would need to be airlifted to UPMC Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh. And regardless of the life-saving efforts made by doctors, Iris would end up dying 4 days later, on June 29th, 2023, due to organ failure. When Iris had arrived at the hospital, the emergency physicians had told police that they strongly believed her condition had been caused by child abuse. So both Alicia and Iris's father were brought in for questioning. When police spoke with Alicia, who had been the one who was home with Iris at the time, she said that the little girl had hit her head after she had cramped up and fallen off of the bed. Now, at first, Alicia said that Iris did not hit her head, and Bailey had relayed this over to the 911 operator. But then Alicia could actually be heard during the call chiming in, saying that the toddler did indeed hit her head when she fell. Alicia told police during her interrogation that she'd sat Iris down on the bed to feed her. And during that time, Iris's arms and legs suddenly began to cramp up. The little girl then fell sideways off of the bed and her chest collapsed. Alicia said she immediately started CPR and contacted Bailey. But she hadn't contacted 911. The other thing is, the mattress that Alicia claimed that Iris had fallen off of was only 6 inches off a carpeted floor. Alicia also told authorities that neither she or her boyfriend Bailey ever let Iris out of their sight. They were very diligent with their care of her. She also went so far as to say that there was no chance she had gotten into anything because they always kept the bathroom cabinets locked. She would also end up being asked by authorities to provide her cell phone so they could inspect it, which she did. And during Bailey's questioning, he would tell authorities that he thought it was odd his girlfriend had not contacted 911 prior to him getting back home. He also said that in the 24 hours prior to Iris being brought to the hospital, she had vomited 2 or 3 times, but other than that, she had been normal. And even though Alicia's story didn't seem to make much sense, and police also had her phone in their possession, it wouldn't be until January of 2024 that an arrest was made. At that time, Alicia was finally placed under arrest, and she was charged with criminal homicide, aggravated assault of a child less than 6 years of age, endangering the welfare of a child, and aggravated assault of a child less than 13 years of age. Alicia is currently being held without bail and is possibly facing a life sentence. Iris's family was ecstatic that Alicia had finally been arrested after months and months of waiting. Prior to the announcement of Alicia's arrest, Iris's family posted yard signs, banners, and billboards throughout the county, trying to get justice for their baby girl. So it had been determined that the toddler had died of acetone poisoning, and her cause of death was homicide. Doctors told police that Iris had a subdural hematoma, bilateral retinal hemorrhages, acetone in her blood, and her body was in organ failure, all of which occurred at some point during the weekend while she was in the custody of her father and Alicia. The doctor also told police that any reasonable caretaker would have noticed almost immediate cognitive changes in Iris. And when authorities had searched through Alicia's phone, they had found numerous Google searches that she had done from February to June, which means that she had also looked up these terms prior to when Iris had come home with water beads, batteries, and a screw in her diaper. These searches had been in relation to chemicals poisonous to a baby. Alicia had looked up questions about children drinking acetone or nail polish. She had searched poisonous beauty products, water beads near me, poisonous products to babies and kids, what happens if a baby swallows a button battery, medications that poison children, medications you shouldn't give to babies, and more. This evil woman had also searched how to pass a polygraph test. Then she had deleted all the searches from her phone's history. Luckily, investigators had been able to extract them. The medical examiner and forensic pathologist also said that both Iris's blood and urine were acidic. The level of acetone that was found in her blood was 0.32%. A lethal level for an adult is just 0.04 to 0.05%. So for a child, being 18 months old, it's even less than that. She had a huge amount of acetone in her system. The forensic pathologist had also determined that the acetone had been ingested orally, and it would have almost immediately caused vomiting, nausea, dizziness, and lethargy. And if enough was given, it would cause a child to go right into a coma. Now, the police did not arrest Bailey Jacoby in connection to his daughter's death, as there was no evidence linking him to it whatsoever, and he had been questioned by authorities multiple times, and each time had been very cooperative. However, when police did speak with Bailey, they learned a possible motive for Iris's murder. Apparently, the day that he had left his daughter home alone with Alicia, he had had a fight with Alicia earlier. And then Alicia had told him that she wasn't getting enough attention from him. Iris's grandmother also believes that Alicia was jealous of the good co-parenting relationship that Emily and Bailey had, which is petty as fuck.
So all we're doing is putting one foot in front of the other.
It's just horrible. This is something that shouldn't happen to anybody. That beautiful baby.
Candace and Frank Alfera hold back tears as they remember the day their daughter Emily called them to say their 18-month-old granddaughter Iris, who lived with them, was unresponsive while in her father's care.
She changed our lives, made us the happiest two people in the world. I used to tell Emily, oh, I thought I loved you. I said, I'm sorry, but Iris is this much more, and she'd get mad.
As far as I'm concerned, Child Youth Services dropped the ball.
Now that an arrest has been made, the Alferas say they're going to let the justice system take over, while they focus their attention on keeping baby Iris's memory alive, while making certain this doesn't ever happen again.
We want to change the law to prevent this from happening. At least change it to the point where they have to have supervised visitation if something is wrong.
Emily promised. Emily's making it her life goal to make sure the laws are changed and that Iris's memory's on forever.
Following Iris's death, her great aunt, Crystal Joseph, publicly said, "There is no justice. The only justice there can ever be in this world is to save another child, because we couldn't save Iris." She also said that the news of Alicia Owen's arrest did not bring any closure to the family, because they will forever be paralyzed with grief. She continued on saying, "We miss our precious Iris with our entire beings and souls." On Sunday, July 2nd, 2023, a candlelight vigil was held for Iris Alfera at Riverwalk Park in Newcastle. During the vigil, her mother Emily read a statement in which she referred to her daughter as her beautiful angel baby, and said she never thought she would be saying goodbye to the biggest light of her life. Emily also said, "You're one of the smartest little girls that I ever met, and intelligent beyond compare. I just pray that you're watching over me as I dedicate my life to you. I love you forever and always." And a private memorial service was also held for her at the Ed and Dawn De Carbo Funeral Home in Newcastle. And immediately following, baby Iris was cremated. Well, thank you for listening to Iris's story today. It is just insane that a full-grown woman can feel so jealous of a baby that she feels the need to end that baby's life. Clearly, she had some serious insecurities in her relationship with Bailey, probably because she was trying to hide the psychopath that she really was. Little Iris was so loved by her mother as well as many others, and it's completely unfair that she had to lose her life in such a horrible manner at the hands of such a selfish person. Now, if you like true crime and you want to hear it from me, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and turn on your notifications too, so you'll know when I upload a new video, which is at least twice every week. Thanks for watching A Wicked World today. Until next time, take care, guys. Bye. Thank you to all the patrons of A Wicked World. Now, there's even more of A Wicked World on Patreon. So check it out at patreon.com/awickedworld or use the Patreon app. You'll have access to exclusive videos each month and more. Any support truly helps to make sure the victims never get forgotten and to highlight the shortcomings of society associated with each case. Do you have a suggestion for a case you'd like to see me cover? If so, send me an email at awickedworldtruecrime@gmail.com.